This video is for educational purposes only and strategies that I use in my personal portfolio. Nothing in this video guarantees profits or future performance. If you are sitting on the sidelines or listening to doom and gloom media right now, you are about to miss out on the greatest wealth generation rally of this decade. The smartest institutional money on Wall Street isn't running for the hills. They are aggressively buying the dip while retail traders get shaken out by fake news and artificial fear. We are looking at this market setup that is coiled like a spring heading directly towards 8,000 on the S&P 500. And if you don't position your portfolio correctly right now, you will be left watching everyone else make life-changing gains. Just remember, no more than 5 to 10% of your portfolio in any one stock. Be sure to do your own due diligence. The market is risky. There's no guarantees. There is a lot of volatility in the markets right now, so you want to be safe, protect your capital, and make sure any of the stocks I talk about fit your own personal goals and needs. Be safe out there. Like I said, the markets are very risky. If you are using basic AI bots or relying on ChatGPT, Claude, or algorithmic retail tools to make your trading decisions, stop immediately. Thousands of retail traders have blown up their accounts this year because of AI tools and not understanding real-time liquidity or institutional order flow and dark pool positioning. AI looks backwards at historic data. It cannot see hedge funds and what they're doing right now behind closed doors. AI will never replace hedge fund experience, deep dark pool analysis, and institutional market mechanics that I have spent years mastering while coaching over 3,400 students. Let me prove to you right here on the screen. You can see right there, just last week ahead of earnings, you can see that I asked AI what the probability that Microsoft would run to 450 within a week or by the end of August. The AI confidently spit out a 1% chance. Meanwhile, inside my Discord, I posted proprietary dark pool analysis showing massive institutional buying. I explicitly told my members in the group that Microsoft was going to surge between 450 and 470 the next day. And what happened? Well, the very next day, Microsoft blew past expectations and landed right at $460, right in the dead zone of my target. And you guys can see those right there on the screen. But that's not all. Late on Friday evening, I caught dark pool activity heating up massively on Lyft. I alerted my Discord community and positioned immediately before the market closed and told them to do the same thing. Within minutes, Lyft spiked aggressively after hours right before market close at 8 p.m. on Friday. This is the difference between relying on a mindless AI algorithm and trading alongside real institutional trader who tracks where the big money is actually moving. If you want to stop guessing, take real control of your financial future, and get direct access to my live coaching, alerts, and strategies so you can capitalize on setups like my 3,400 plus students, the link to join my Discord community is in the information box below. I look forward to helping you grow your portfolio. Now let's dive into the pure macro picture and look at where the stock market is actually headed for the rest of 2026. FundStrat's Tom Lee, one of the most accurate macro strategists on Wall Street, just laid out an extraordinary thesis on CNBC. While the mainstream media spent July panicking over minor pullbacks and hedge fund deleveraging, Tom Lee pointed out that the underlying market fundamentals are built up like a coiled spring.
So the stock market's kind of a coiled spring, and then we had a huge deleveraging, as you're talking about, because of the AI unwind and Korea's policymakers panicking. So I think the markets could actually rebound strongly this month. Like maybe we get to 7,800.
This month, the 7,800.
As Tom Lee stated, corporate earnings estimates have continued to revise upwards even during choppy, consolidated trading. He is projecting that the S&P 500 to rebound sharply to 7,800 in August before breaking out close to above 8,000 by the end of the year.
So we get to 7,800, maybe a 10% drawdown, and then close the year above 8,000.
Yes. Yeah, I think because as we start to look at 2027, there's a lot of the clouds that are heading this year kind of lift. You know, the SpaceX unlock will be behind us, and the market testing of the new Fed will be behind us. So I think, and then of course there's already been a leverage unwind. So I think 2027 could be one of the best years for the stock market.
And you think part of the positive sentiment this month is going to be cooler inflation data?
Look at the tech sector. Oracle, Navitas, Applied Digital, and the broader AI infrastructure group have staged massive recoveries. The narrative was that we desperately need Federal Reserve rate cuts just to keep the economy afloat, and that was dead wrong. The underlying economic data is so robust and corporate profit margins are so strong that the market is advancing on pure fundamental strength, not central bank bailouts. And I told you guys that Oracle would make its way back up and there would be more good news on Oracle. Not only did they get a deal with the Department of Defense and the Pentagon, they are also now directly working with Google AI and Gemini. Furthermore, when you look at macro inflation, which is core inflation excluding energy and food, it is already cooling down significantly. The primary lingering volatility risk comes from geopolitical energy spikes, specifically tensions surrounding Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. Once diplomatic deals or resolution stabilize the Iranian conflict, the risk of energy-driven inflation vanishes, removing the last major hurdle for this market to rocket into 2027. Let's summarize the critical economic print that just hit the stage on Monday, August 3rd and Tuesday, August the 4th. The economic data rolling in proves that the global economic growth is accelerating faster than consensus expectations. Global GDP growth numbers released over the past 48 hours completely shattered Wall Street's recession models. Manufacturing PMI data showed surprising resilience. Services ISM remains firmly in expansion territory, and the corporate CapEx spending on AI infrastructure is continuing at record pace. Here's why this data is driving explosive market strength. Global GDP outperformance. International trade flows and domestic productivity metrics from early August confirm that economic expansion is global, not just isolated to the U.S. tech. We have the housing and wage disinflation, as Tom Lee noted in his interview. Housing prices have dropped for 3 consecutive months because shelter and wages are the two heaviest weights in the CPI calculation. Housing disinflation guarantees that core inflation will continue drifting lower over the next 2 quarters. The deleveraging liquidation is also over. The massive market drop we saw in late July was not an economic collapse. It was the temporary forced margin unwind from a single $150 billion leveraged hedge fund position, the Loophole-Brenner liquidation that dumped Southern Korean memory chips and AI tech stocks into the market. That artificial supply dump is now completely absorbed by the institutional dark pools. The weak hands were flushed out. Corporate earnings are rising, and the market is cleared to move straight to new all-time highs. Now let's examine some of these individual mega caps and high growth tickers that are on the run this week, and let's start out with Oracle. Oracle has quietly transformed into one of the undisputed giants of AI cloud infrastructure. As per the latest government filings, Oracle officially secured a massive $6.99 billion 10-year enterprise software initiative ESI contract with the U.S. Department of Defense, DoD. On top of their expanding government footprint, Oracle expanded its multi-cloud partnership with Google AI, allowing seamless enterprise deployment across Google Cloud and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, which is OCI. Oracle's remaining performance obligations, RPO, the contractual backlog of booked revenue, has exploded into multi-billion-dollar territory. This provides bulletproof multi-year revenue visibility that immunizes Oracle from short-term economic bump. Also, Microsoft, in their blowout earnings report, Azure AI growth accelerated. Microsoft proved that enterprise AI monetization is happening right now, validating my $450 to $470 price target call in the Discord. Meta's open source Llama ecosystem and AI-driven ad targeting algorithms are generating record free cash flow, allowing them to fund massive data center expansion without hurting operating margins. Navitas Semiconductor is another one, and Applied Digital, the physical backbone of the AI. Applied Digital is rapidly scaling high-density computing facilities and power infrastructure, while Navitas GaN gallium nitride power ICs are becoming mandatory for high-efficiency AI server power supplies. The structural demand behind these companies isn't speculative. It is backed by legally binding enterprise contracts and real-world cash flow. Let's address the perma-bears right now, specifically the Michael Burrys of the world and Michael Burry himself and the crowd claiming we are in an AI.com bubble. Michael Burry has called 20 of the last 2 market crashes, and his bubble thesis is wrong yet again. Historical market bubbles like the 2000.com crash occurred when a forward PE ratio of the market spiked above 38 to 44x, driven by unprofitable companies with zero revenue trading on eyeballs and hype. Let's look at the actual verified valuation numbers as of August 5th, 2026. When we look at the market data index, the dot-com bubble in 2000 had a peak forward-looking PE ratio of 44x, unprofitable tech, extreme speculative bubble. Then in 2008, the financial crisis, the systemic banking crisis, over-leveraged housing peaked into the mid-30s in the forward PE ratio. Well, guess what the forward PE ratio is as of right now? 19.9. It's under 20, and the moving average is between 20 and 21. And we've even seen 22 and 23 in the previous years, in 2024 and in 2025. So when you think about that, we're nowhere even near a bubble. And just to give you guys a little bit of insight, now to explain this a little bit better, as the SPY goes up, but so does earnings, the PE ratio stays the same, goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit. It's the underlying assets in the SPY, the companies in the SPY, like Meta, Microsoft, Google, when their amount of money goes up, their revenue goes up, that makes the PE ratio go down. So in the previous months, the SPY was going down and consolidating while all the earnings was going up. In the last 10 months, with the exception of June, the market has been flat, going down and sideways while earnings are going up. So if earnings are going up, but the cost to buy is staying the same or going down, the PE ratio goes down. And this is how it works, especially when you're looking at the forward PE ratio, which is also going to take into account the long-term growth and trajectory and analytical price targets and guidance on income. When you look at all of this as a whole, you understand that right now a bubble is just not possible, because in order for us to be in a bubble right now, the SPY would have to be like $1,100 to $1,200 right now or higher. We're nowhere near there. We're in the $700 range, which, believe it or not, is a 19 forward-looking PE ratio. But when SPY was $630 to $650 in the summer of 2025, the PE ratio was 22. Believe it or not, it was 2 points higher, even though the SPY was $100 cheaper. This is because of the earnings and the growth of the companies inside the SPY. As of today, August 5th, 2026, the S&P 500 is sitting at a forward PE ratio of 19.9, right around historical averages for the expansionary market. When the market tipped a month ago, forward valuations dropped even lower, making equities significantly more affordable relative to the actual corporate growth earnings. Companies today are generating hundreds of billions of dollars in net cash profits and free cash flow. This is not 2000. It is a fundamental transformation in global productivity. Look, the bottom line is simple. The short-term noise, the AI bot confusion, and the media fear-mongering are designed to shake you out right before the market moves to 7,800 and 8,000 on the S&P 500. If you're tired of getting caught on the wrong side of the trades, relying on lagging AI predictions and guessing when to enter the market, it is time to change your approach. Inside my Discord, you get direct access to my institutional dark pool analysis, real-time alerts, daily market breakdowns, and the exact education that has helped over 3,400 students take control of their financial freedom. Click the link in the information box below to secure your spot in my Discord community right now and stop guessing. Start trading with real institutional data, and I will see you inside the Discord. Remember, AI is getting it wrong with Microsoft, Lyft, and a lot of these other stocks, and I called every one of them. And not only that, Oracle is on the way back up, and Oracle is likely to go to $200 or more by the end of the year. Navitas is in recovery right now, and I will have another video on Navitas as well. This is how you trade the market. You want to be safe, protect your capital, no more than 5 to 10% of your portfolio in any one stock. The market is risky. There's no guarantees. Remember, protect your capital, be safe, make sure the stocks I talk about fit your own personal goals and needs. And I just want to reiterate, a lot of people wanted to sell Oracle when it was down just a week and a half ago at 115. Now it's pushing 150. This is indeed a shakeout and manipulation, like I've been trying to explain to you guys every video that I discuss and every video that I teach. You guys have to be very cautious, protect your capital, like I said, but don't get shaken out. There's a lot of manipulation, and I have a lot of videos coming your way to help you guys navigate this market. I'll see you guys on the next video or upload and in the Discord real soon.